Hi, this is Jason Stoneking for Chess.com. We're in Alencourt, France today for the 11th and final round of the Free-Day Grand Prix tournament. With me is GM Hikaru Nakamura, the #1 player from the United States. We're going to ask him a few questions. How are you today, Carl?
I'm okay. I could be happier, I could be unhappier, so I'm pretty normal for the moment.
You said you played well in the middle rounds of the tournament. Do you feel like, on the whole, the result was a good one for you, a strong one?
Yeah, I mean, okay. When I say I played well in the middle, I don't think I made many mistakes, especially in rounds 2 through 8. But that being said, I didn't exactly generate many winning chances either. So I think in the end, considering the bit of luck that I had in winning the games against Ivanchuk and Caruana, it's certainly, by any standard, a good result to go +2. So I guess what I really feel, though, is in the last couple of rounds, maybe not today, because today I felt I played well, but especially the games against Ruslan, Boris, and who was the other one against? I can't remember.
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, against Shuki, actually, the one that I won. What am I thinking? Of course. But yeah, I didn't think I played so well in those 3 games. I mean, yesterday especially, I felt I just couldn't seem to calculate anything to save my life. So that being said, it's pretty good, certainly, to finish on +2.
You were talking about traveling to some upcoming tournaments. Do you feel as an American player that you have to travel longer distances to get the highest level competition?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only person who, maybe it's to travel further, I mean, it's very close, it's probably Wang Hao from China, but in general, yeah, I mean, it's always across the pond, from the U.S., so it's always, a bit unpleasant. I mean, for example, I'll be going back to the U.S., and then I think to get the next round I'm playing is the European Club Cup Championship, which is in Rhodes, Greece, and I think to get there it's going to take me something like 9 hours. I mean, I have to fly to Athens and then Athens to Rhodes, so certainly I travel more than most of the other top players for sure. It's a bit unfortunate, but still, that's just how it goes. I think, there's just a little bit more culture and a little bit more acceptance or understanding of chess in Europe than there seems to be in the U.S.
Yeah, we spoke to a few players who said they'd like to play in the U.S., but it's just a matter of there isn't the funding. Do you think that the culture is a reason for that?
Certainly I do. I mean, you look at chess in Europe. I mean, or not even just Europe, but in many places throughout the world, and it's very highly respected. And I feel like in the U.S., it's not that there isn't respect for the game, but it's not in the same category as, say, someone who's a tennis player or a major star. I mean, frankly, even people on something like Desperate Housewives or the Real Housewives of New Jersey, all these or Jersey Shore. I could go on forever. But there are plenty of people like that who are extremely famous in the U.S. and so I don't think chess really is on the same level. It's I don't know if that's because there are I'm the first top player in a long time to come along in the U.S. or whether it's just in general there just isn't much interest, but that's just how it is. But nevertheless, I think hopefully as I start marching towards the top, hopefully there will be more publicity for chess.
Have you thought at all about relocating to somewhere that was a little more chess friendly?
Not at the moment, no. But I am kind of engaged. I do have a fiance who lives in Italy, so I am in Europe quite a bit of the time. And so perhaps in the future I may be in Europe more. But at the moment, I still can travel. It's not affecting my performance in general, and I get to collect a lot of air miles, so I'm certainly not complaining.
A lot of people are really happy about the work you've done to help the community in St. Louis. Do you feel like it's important for you to give back to the American chess world?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the U.S. Okay, I didn't grow up in St. Louis in particular, but still, I grew up in the U.S. I played so many open tournaments, and just in general, chess has given me a lot in my life. So certainly, when I have the chances, I do try to give back, especially now that I am in St. Louis, and since there is a bit of a chess thing going on now as well.
And do you have any ideas for what we can do in the States to increase interest in chess or to increase the funding opportunities?
I think in general it's just, there has to be a certain perspective or awareness in terms of the personalities that are in chess, and that it's, it is quite cool and it is quite difficult as well to get good. I think a lot of people look at chess and it's like they say, oh, cool, but, obviously you're a nerd and, on top of that, it's hard to make a living. I don't think people realize that, if you get to the top, you can make quite a good living. But at the same time, I think there also needs to be support because, frankly, there are a lot of strong players in the U.S. in their mid to late teens, but then then college rolls around, then there are more lucrative opportunities, and if you're trying to get to the top, you need a lot of help along the way, and I think really that's the main way to further grow the chess population in the U.S.
People talk about the Fischer boom when he won the World Championship during the Cold War. Do you think the conditions still exist for that kind of excitement? If you make it to number one, are we going to see the Hikaru boom in the United States?
I mean, I think if I have a chance to play a World Championship match with Carlsen, it's certainly quite possible. But I think it's also quite different in that, I mean, it's a whole different angle. The reason it was so popular then was because the Cold War was going on. It was the U.S. against Russia, and it's just a different time now. But still, everyone, actually, this includes U.S. Anywhere you go, people who aren't very familiar with chess or know the basics, it's all about the Russians, on and on and on. And you look at the top players now. I mean, okay, Magnus Carlsen is from the West. He's from Norway. I'm from the U.S., which also is not the Eastern Bloc. So, in general, I think there is potential for there to be a boom. But still, in order for that to happen, you need a lot of media coverage. That's the main thing. And so hopefully, but I mean that's not really what I'm worrying about at the moment.
You talked about hoping you get to play for the World Championship against Carlsen. Are you pretty confident that he's going to defeat Anand this November?
Well, I don't know. I mean, on paper, he's certainly the big favorite. I think a lot depends on how Anand plays. And I have a feeling after the first game or two, I have a pretty good idea. I mean, whether it's going to be a close match or whether Carlsen is just going to run away with it.
So you think those are the two likely outcomes then?
I mean, it's very hard to see Carlsen not winning, considering the way he seems to win everything lately, and how consistent he is. But still, Anand has something to prove. I mean, he's won, I guess, 3 matches now in a row. So we'll see. But I mean, I think it depends more on Anand than Carlsen. It depends if Anand can play at a very high level or not. That's the overriding factor. Because if he can't play at a high level, I have a feeling it's going to be a very, very uneven match.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
No problem.
All right. Stay tuned in to Chess.com and the Chess.com YouTube channel for our exclusive series of one-on-one interviews with the players here in Paris. I'm Jason Stoneking for Chess.com, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.